Did you know that some of your favorite R&B stars have sons who look just like them at the same age? From Usher, whose smooth voice made him an R&B legend, to Lionel Richie, whose timeless hits shaped music history, these stars prove that talent and looks can pass from father to son. These father-son duos prove that talent and good looks definitely run in the family. Here are 20 R&B stars, father and their sons at the same age. Number 1. Usher and Usher. Cinco, Raymond Vi. Usher Raymond IV, known as Usher, became a household name in the late 1990s and early 2000s with his smooth vocals, effortless dance moves, and undeniable charisma. By the time he was in his early 20s, he was already dominating the R&B charts with hits like You Make Me Wanna, Nice and Slow, and You Got It Bad. His 2004 album, Confessions, cemented his status as one of the best-selling R&B artists of all time. With his signature style, sharp fashion sense, and magnetic stage presence, Usher became an icon of his generation. Fast forward to today, and his son, Usher Cinco Raymond V, is growing up in his father's footsteps. Born in 2007, Cinco has inherited not only his father's name, but also his sense of style and confidence. Though still young, he already shows a natural charm that reminds many of Usher in his early years. Photos of Cinco as a teenager reveal a striking resemblance to his father at the same age, from his facial features to his effortlessly cool demeanor. Cinco has been spotted at various events with his famous dad, often dressed in trendy outfits that mirror Usher's own fashion-forward choices. Whether rocking streetwear or a sleek suit, he carries himself with the same effortless confidence that made his father a global superstar. While it's unclear if he will follow Usher into music, he has grown up around the entertainment industry, making it no surprise that he has a natural flair for style and performance. Usher has spoken openly about how much he loves being a father, often sharing moments with Cinco and his other children. He has expressed pride in watching them grow, learn, and develop their own identities. Whether Cinco chooses to step into the spotlight or forge his own path, one thing is certain: he carries the same star quality that made his father a legend. Number 2. Bobby Brown and Bobby Brown Jr. Bobby Brown became a name for him in the 1980s as a member of New Edition before launching a highly successful solo career. With his signature swagger, smooth dance moves, and confident presence, he helped define the era of R&B and New Jack Swing. Songs like My Prerogative and Every Little Step made him an icon, and his bold, bad boy persona only added to his appeal. At the height of his career, Bobby was known for his flashy fashion choices, high-energy performances, and undeniable charisma. His son, Bobby Brown Jr., inherited more than just his famous name. He had a similar charm, talent, and style. Born in 1991, Bobby Jr. grew up surrounded by music, thanks to his father's legacy. As he got older, he began pursuing his own musical path, releasing tracks that reflected his love for R&B and hip-hop. While he didn't reach the same level of fame as his father, Bobby Jr. had a smooth voice and a cool, laid-back demeanor that reminded fans of a young Bobby Brown in his prime. Looking at photos of Bobby Brown and Bobby Jr. at the same age, the resemblance is clear. Both had the same expressive eyes, strong jawline, and confident presence. Even their fashion choices were similar, often seen in stylish jackets, gold chains, and fresh sneakers. Just like his father, Bobby Jr. carried himself with effortless charm, making it easy to see the connection between them. Tragically, Bobby Brown Jr. passed away in 2020 at just 28 years old. His death was a heartbreaking loss for the Brown family, especially for his father, who had already endured the devastating losses of his ex-wife Whitney Houston and their daughter Bobby Christina. Despite the sorrow, Bobby Brown Jr.'s time in the spotlight showed glimpses of the same spark that made his father an R&B legend. Though his life was cut short, Bobby Brown Jr. will always be remembered for his passion for music and the undeniable connection he shared with his father, both in looks and talent. Up next, one and only R&B star. Number 3, John Legend and Miles Stevens. John Legend is known for his smooth voice, timeless music, and charming personality. But if you've ever seen his son, Miles Stevens, you might feel like you're looking at a younger version of the R&B star. The resemblance between father and son is undeniable, from their facial features to their expressions. Born in 2018 to John Legend and model Chrissy Teigen, Miles quickly caught the public's attention for looking just like his famous dad. Fans immediately noticed his round cheeks, big brown eyes, and even his smile, which mirrors John's in his younger years. Chrissy often shares photos of Miles on social media, and every time she does, fans flood the comments, saying things like, "That's just baby John Legend." What makes the resemblance even stronger is the way Miles carries himself. Even at a young age, he has John's cool and relaxed demeanor. Whether he's posing for pictures, making funny faces, or just enjoying time with his family, he naturally mirrors his dad's charm. John has also embraced the comparisons. He often jokes about how much Miles looks like him, even calling him his mini-me. During interviews, John has mentioned how funny it is to see his features reflected in his son. He even shared that when Miles was a toddler, he'd look at baby pictures of himself and think they were pictures of Miles. Beyond just looks, Miles is also growing up in a household filled with music. With a Grammy-winning father and a mother who loves entertaining, it wouldn't be surprising if Miles follows in John's musical footsteps one day. While it's too early to tell if he has a talent for singing or playing instruments, the potential is there. From the way he smiles to the way he moves, Miles Stevens is like a little John Legend in the making. It's always fascinating to see strong family resemblances, and in this case, it's clear. John Legend didn't just pass down his talent, he passed down his entire face. Number 4, Ne-Yo and his son, Mason. Ne-Yo, the Grammy-winning R&B star, known for hits like So Sick and Miss Independent, has always been recognized for his signature look, smooth skin, sharp jawline, and a warm smile. His son, Mason, may still be young, but fans have already noticed the strong resemblance between the two. Mason, born to Ne-Yo and his ex-fiancée, Monyetta Shaw, has inherited many of his father's defining facial features. From his bright, expressive eyes to the shape of his nose and smile, it's clear that Ne-Yo's genes run strong. While he hasn't stepped into the music industry yet, Mason already carries the confidence and charm that made his father a superstar. Ne-Yo has always been vocal about his love for his children. He frequently shares moments with them on social media, giving fans a glimpse into his life as a dedicated father. Whether it's taking Mason and his siblings on fun outings, supporting their interests, or simply spending quality time at home, Ne-Yo embraces fatherhood with pride. Fans who have followed Ne-Yo's career can't help but draw comparisons between him and Mason. When looking at photos of Ne-Yo at a younger age, the similarities become even more striking. They share the same facial structure, and as Mason continues to grow, the resemblance is likely to become even more pronounced. Number 5, Ginuwine. Ginuwine, the smooth-voiced R&B singer who took the late 90s and early 2000s by storm, has a son who looks just like him. With his signature jawline and charismatic smile, Ginuwine's son is undeniably his father's twin at the same age. It's almost like looking at a younger version of the Pony Singer, back when he was just stepping into the spotlight. Ginuwine, whose real name is Elgin Baylor Lumpkin, became famous for his silky vocals, electrifying dance moves, and undeniable charm. His good looks, combined with his talent, made him a major heartthrob during his prime. Now, his son is turning heads in a similar way. Just like his dad, he has that confident presence and a natural swagger that instantly reminds fans of Ginuwine's early days in the industry. The resemblance between father and son isn't just in their facial features, it's also in the way they carry themselves. Genuine's son seems to have inherited his dad's cool, laid-back demeanor and star quality. While he hasn't followed directly in his father's musical footsteps just yet, he definitely has the look of a young entertainer in the making. Fans who have seen photos of Genuine's son at the same age as his father have been quick to point out the striking similarities. Some even say he could easily step into his dad's shoes if he ever wanted to pursue an entertainment career. Whether or not he chooses to follow his father's path, one thing is for sure, he's got that genuine charm that made his dad a household name. Looking at these two side by side, it's clear that good genes run strong in the family. Genuine's legacy in R&B is undeniable, and with a son who looks so much like him, it's almost as if time has rewound to the late 90s. Whether he decides to embrace the spotlight or carve his path, there's no denying that Genuine's son is a spitting image of his superstar dad. Next R&B legend on the list was known for hits like Brown Sugar and Untitled. How Does It Feel? Number 6. D'Angelo. D'Angelo, the R&B legend known for his soulful voice and smooth charisma, has a son who looks just like him at the same age. Fans who remember D'Angelo from his early days, especially the late 90s and early 2000s, when he was at the peak of his career, can't help but notice the striking resemblance between father and son. From their facial structure to the way they carry themselves, it's clear that the apple didn't fall far from the tree. One of the most noticeable similarities between D'Angelo and his son is their expressions. D'Angelo, born Michael Eugene Archer, became famous not just for his music, but also for his deep, intense gaze and effortless cool. His son has inherited that same piercing look, one that seems to communicate a world of emotions without saying a word. Their eyes, framed by the same strong brow line, hold the same mysterious and soulful quality that made D'Angelo stand out in the music industry. Beyond just looks, there are hints that D'Angelo's son may also have inherited his father's musical talent. D'Angelo made a name for himself with hits like Brown Sugar and Untitled. How Does It Feel? Showcasing a mix of raw emotion, smooth vocals, and deep-rooted artistry. While his son has kept a lower profile, fans speculate whether he, too, will step into the music world and carry on his father's legacy. Number 7. Montel Jordan and Chris Jordan. Back in the mid-90s, Montel Jordan became a household name with his massive hit, This Is How We Do It. His tall frame, smooth charisma, and signature deep voice made him stand out in the R&B scene. Fast forward a few decades, and his son, Chris Jordan, is now carrying the same strong presence. Looking at pictures of Montel in his prime and Chris at the same age, the resemblance is striking. They share the same tall height, strong jawline, and expressive eyes. It's almost like looking at a younger version of Montel. But it's not just the looks. Chris has also inherited his father's confidence and sense of style. While Montel made his mark in music, Chris has been carving his own path. He may not be following directly in his father's footsteps as a singer, but he has a natural star quality. Whether it's his social media presence or his personal style, Chris has a way of turning heads, much like Montel did in his heyday. Fans who remember Montel's glory days can't help but notice how much Chris reminds them of his father. It's proof that sometimes talent and looks run in the family in the most obvious way. Seeing Chris today feels like stepping back in time to when Montel ruled the airwaves with his smooth vocals and unforgettable anthem. Up next is well known for his timeless hits. No other person than number 8. Smokey Robinson and Trey Robinson. Smokey Robinson is a music legend known for his smooth vocals, timeless hits, and those striking green eyes. His son, Trey Robinson, may not be as famous as his father, but he definitely inherited some of Smokey's most recognizable features. When comparing the two at the same age, it's impossible to miss the resemblance, especially those piercing green eyes that have been a part of Smokey's signature look for decades. Beyond just looks, Trey also carries himself with the same cool, laid-back demeanor that made his father a beloved icon. Smokey, who became famous in the 1960s as the lead singer of The Miracles, had a way of charming audiences not just with his voice, but with his smooth presence. Trey seems to have inherited that same effortless confidence. While Trey has stayed mostly out of the spotlight, his connection to his father remains strong. He's been seen accompanying Smokey to events, and fans who catch a glimpse of him can't help but notice how much he looks like a younger version of his father. Though he hasn't pursued a major music career like his dad, the Robinson name continues to hold weight in the industry. With his famous green eyes, smooth demeanor, and undeniable resemblance to his legendary father, Trey Robinson proves that some traits truly do run in the family. Number 9, Keith Sweat and Justin Sweat. Keith Sweat, the R&B legend known for his smooth voice and timeless slow jams, was one of the biggest stars of the late 80s and 90s. With hits like Make It Last Forever and Nobody, he became a defining voice in R&B, known for his emotional delivery and signature sound. But beyond his music, Keith also passed down something else: his looks. His son, Justin Sweat, has grown up to be the spitting image of his famous father. Looking at photos of Keith in his prime and Justin now, the resemblance is striking. They share the same sharp jawline, deep-set eyes, and confident smile. Justin has also inherited his father's smooth sense of style, often seen rocking trendy outfits that remind fans of Keith's fashion choices back in the day. Though Justin hasn't pursued a major music career like his dad, he has dabbled in the entertainment world. He's gained attention on social media, where fans frequently point out how much he looks like his father. Some have even joked that he could play a younger version of Keith if there were ever a biopic about the R&B star's life. While Keith Sweat remains an icon in the music world, Justin is carving his own path. But one thing is certain, whether it's in looks or presence, he carries the Sweat legacy with him. Next music legend on our list is number 10, Stevie Wonder and Kwame Morris. Stevie Wonder is a music legend known for his incredible songwriting and mastery of multiple instruments. His son, Kwame Morris, may not be as famous as his father, but he certainly carries his dad's musical spirit and striking features. Kwame, one of Stevie's 9 children, has inherited his father's deep passion for music. While Stevie Wonder became a global sensation as a child prodigy, with hits like Superstition and Isn't She Lovely, Kwame has pursued music in his own way. He is a singer, songwriter, and instrumentalist, much like his father. Though he hasn't reached the same level of fame, his love for creating music is undeniable. Beyond talent, the resemblance between father and son is hard to miss. Kwame has the same facial structure as Stevie, with similar full lips and a strong jawline. While Stevie Wonder is famously known for wearing his signature sunglasses, Kwame also embraces stylish eyewear as part of his look. Though their fashion choices differ, the family resemblance is clear when they stand side by side. Kwame has worked on his own music projects and has also been involved in modeling. Despite being the son of an icon, he has chosen to carve his own path rather than live in his father's shadow. While Stevie Wonder's legacy is untouchable, Kwame carries on his father's love for music, showing that talent truly runs in the family. Number 11, Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Gibson, known for his smooth vocals and memorable roles in the Fast and Furious franchise, has always had a strong presence in the entertainment industry. But when it comes to his son, fans can't help but notice something incredible. He looks just like his famous dad. Though still young, Tyrese's son already shares many of his father's features. From his deep, expressive eyes to his strong jawline, the resemblance is striking. Early photos of the little one have surfaced online, and fans were quick to point out that he's a mini version of Tyrese in his younger years. Tyrese, who has always been open about his love for fatherhood, often shares moments with his son on social media. Whether it's playful bonding time or heartfelt messages about raising a young man, it's clear that he takes great pride in being a dad. And while it's too soon to tell if his son will follow in his footsteps in music or acting, one thing is for sure. He's already inherited Tyrese's signature charm and looks. Many celebrity kids grow up in the spotlight, and fans love to see how they resemble their parents at the same age. In Tyrese's case, the similarity is undeniable. If his son continues to look more like him as he grows older, we might just have another Tyrese Gibson in the making. Number 12, James DeBarge. James DeBarge, a member of the famous DeBarge family and known for hits like Rhythm of the Night and Love Me in a Special Way, was a heartthrob in the 1980s with his soft voice and striking looks. His son, Christina DeBarge's brother, has inherited those same signature features that made James stand out in his prime. Much like his father, James's son has the classic DeBarge charm: high cheekbones, a defined jawline, and expressive eyes. If you compare photos of James from his younger years with his son at the same age, the resemblance is striking. They share the same smooth complexion and effortless style that made James a standout in the R&B world. Though James DeBarge's career was often overshadowed by personal struggles, his musical legacy and family name remained strong. While his son has largely stayed out of the spotlight compared to his half-sister Christina, who pursued a singing career of her own, he still carries the unmistakable DeBarge features that fans instantly recognize. It's always fascinating to see how genes play a role in family legacies. And in the case of James and his son, the resemblance is undeniable. Whether or not he follows in his father's footsteps musically, he already shares the same distinct look that made James one of R&B's most memorable figures. Up next is well-known legendary Motown singer, number 13, Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye, the legendary Motown singer known for hits like Let's Get It On and What's Going On, had a voice and presence that made him unforgettable. But beyond his talent, Gaye also passed down his striking features to his son, Marvin Gaye III. Looking at photos of Marvin Gaye in his younger years, it's easy to see where his son got his looks. From the strong jawline to the expressive eyes, Marvin III shares many of his father's defining facial features. Even their smiles have a similar warmth, making the resemblance undeniable. Marvin Gaye III grew up in the shadow of his father's fame, but carried on the family name with pride. While he did not follow exactly in his father's musical footsteps, he remained involved in the industry and worked behind the scenes. Over the years, fans who saw Marvin Gaye III couldn't help but notice how much he looked like his father, especially when comparing pictures of the two at similar ages. The elder Marvin Gaye's influence wasn't just in appearance. His impact on music and culture remains unmatched. And while his life was tragically cut short in 1984, his legacy continues through his music and his son, who serves as a reminder of the R&B icon's unforgettable presence. Number 14, Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell, the R&B sensation known for hits like Can We Talk and Tell Me What You Want Me to Do, has remained a private figure when it comes to his personal life. While there has never been official confirmation, rumors have circulated for years that Campbell has a son who bears a striking resemblance to him in his younger days. Fans have pointed out that this rumored son shares Tevin's signature youthful features, including his expressive eyes, smooth complexion, and distinct smile. In photos that have surfaced online, some claim that the young man's facial structure and overall appearance are nearly identical to how Tevin looked during the peak of his career in the early 90s. Despite these speculations, Campbell has never publicly acknowledged having a son. He has been open about his personal growth and journey in the music industry, but has kept details about his family life out of the spotlight. His decision to stay private has only fueled more curiosity among fans, especially those who grew up listening to his music. Whether the rumors are true or not, there is no denying that Tevin Campbell's legacy lives on through his timeless music. If he does have a son, it would be fascinating to see if he inherited not only Tevin's looks, but also his incredible vocal talent. Up next is not only an R&B singer, is also producer. Number 15, Babyface and Brandon Edmonds. Babyface, the legendary R&B singer, songwriter, and producer, is known for his smooth vocals and timeless love songs, but beyond his incredible career, his son, Brandon Edmonds, is turning heads for a different reason. He looks just like his famous father at the same age. When Babyface, whose real name is Kenneth Edmonds, was in his 20s and 30s, he had a youthful, clean-cut appearance with soft facial features that made him instantly recognizable. Fast forward to today, and his son Brandon has inherited many of those same traits. From his father's defined jawline to his smooth complexion, Brandon carries a striking resemblance to the younger Babyface. Even their expressions are similar, with both father and son sharing that calm, confident demeanor. Though Babyface made his name in the music industry with hit songs like Whip Appeal and Every Time I Close My Eyes, Brandon has mostly stayed out of the spotlight. While he hasn't followed directly in his father's musical footsteps, he clearly carries the same effortless charm that made Babyface a star. It's always fascinating to see how genes work. And in the case of Babyface and Brandon Edmonds, it's like looking at a younger version of the R&B icons. Whether Brandon decides to step into the entertainment world or forge his own path, one thing is for sure, he'll always have a little bit of Babyface in him, both in looks and legacy. Number 16, Lionel Richie and Miles Richie. Lionel Richie is a music legend, known for his smooth voice, timeless hits, and signature style. Back in his days with the Commodores, he had a youthful charm, a full head of curly hair, and a warm smile that made fans swoon. Today, his son, Miles Richie, may not be following in his father's musical footsteps, but their resemblance at the same age is undeniable. Miles has inherited many of Lionel's signature features. With his strong jawline, expressive eyes, and similar facial structure, he could easily pass as a younger version of his famous father. While Lionel was busy topping the charts with songs like Easy and 3 Times a Lady in his early years, Miles has taken a different path, focusing more on modeling and fashion. Despite choosing a different career, Miles has embraced his famous last name and the perks that come with it. He has been spotted at high-profile events and has even formed close friendships with other celebrity kids, including Kylie Jenner. Though he isn't a singer, he still carries the same cool, effortless style that made Lionel a star. Looking at photos of Lionel Richie in his Commodores era and Miles today, the resemblance is striking. It's a reminder that some genes are just too strong to fade. Next up on our list is one of the biggest names in the R&B industry. Number 17, R. Kelly and Robert Kelly Jr. R. Kelly was one of the biggest names in R&B, known for his powerful voice, hit songs, and undeniable musical talent. However, his legacy has been overshadowed by legal troubles and controversy. Despite this, his son, Robert Kelly Jr., has grown up in the public eye, carrying a striking resemblance to his father at the same age. Born to R. Kelly and his ex-wife, Andrea Kelly, Robert Jr. has inherited many of his father's facial features, including his strong jawline and expressive eyes. While R. Kelly dominated the charts in his younger years with songs like I Believe I Can Fly and Ignition, Remix, his son has chosen to keep a much lower profile. Unlike his father, who was already making waves in the music industry by his early 20s, Robert Jr. has not pursued a career in entertainment. In interviews, Andrea Kelly has shared that their son has distanced himself from his father's legacy. He has spoken about the challenges of growing up with such a famous and controversial parent. Despite the resemblance, Robert Jr. is carving out his own identity and future, separate from his father's past. While their lives have taken different paths, one thing is clear: Robert Kelly Jr. is a reflection of his father's younger self in appearance, even if he is determined to write his own story. Number 18, Al B. was one of the biggest R&B stars of the late 80s and early 90s, known for his smooth voice, signature curly hair, and undeniable charm. His hit songs like Night and Day and Off on Your Own, Girl, made him a household name, and he had a unique style that set him apart from other artists of his era. His son, Quincy Brown, not only inherited his father's good looks, but also his talent. Born in 1991 to Al B. Sure. And model Kim Porter, Quincy was raised by another music icon, Sean Diddy Combs, after Porter and Combs became a couple. Despite this, Quincy has always acknowledged and embraced his connection to Al B. Sure, and the musical genes he passed down. As Quincy grew up, it became clear that he had the same striking features as his father. His expressive eyes, strong jawline, and signature smile. Fans have often pointed out how much Quincy looks like a young Al B. Sure, at the height of his fame. But looks aren't the only thing they share. Quincy also pursued a career in music and acting. He has released R&B tracks like Friends First and Black Lingerie, while also making a name for himself in Hollywood, with roles in Star and Brotherly Love. With his father's legacy behind him and his own talents paving the way, Quincy Brown has carved out his own space in the entertainment world while still honoring the musical roots passed down from Al B. Number 19. Gerald Levert and Lamicka Levert. Gerald Levert was known for his deep, soulful voice and heartfelt lyrics. As the son of Eddie Levert, lead singer of the O'Jays, Gerald carried on the family's musical legacy, making a name for himself in the 1980s and 1990s with hits like Casanova and I'd Give Anything. His smooth vocals and charismatic presence earned him a loyal fan base, and he became one of the most beloved voices in R&B. His son, Lamicka Levert, has inherited more than just his father's last name. He bears a striking resemblance to Gerald, especially when comparing photos of them at the same age. Lamicka has the same warm smile, strong facial structure, and expressive eyes that made his father instantly recognizable. Fans have noticed how much he looks like a younger Gerald during his Levert and solo career days. Beyond appearances, Lamicka has also embraced music, following in his father and grandfather's footsteps. While he keeps a relatively low profile compared to his famous family, he has shown an interest in carrying on the Levert musical legacy, whether through his own artistic pursuits or keeping his father's memory alive. Lamicka is a reminder of Gerald's lasting impact on R&B. Number 20. Brian McKnight and Brian McKnight Jr. Brian McKnight is known for his hits like Back at One and Anytime. He became one of the most respected R&B singers of his time. But talent isn't the only thing that runs in the McKnight family. His son, Brian McKnight Jr., has inherited both his father's musical gifts and his striking looks. At the same age, Brian McKnight and Brian Jr. share a remarkable resemblance. Both have the same sharp facial features, high cheekbones, and signature warm smile. Whether dressed casually or in a sleek suit, Brian Jr. looks just like his father did in the prime of his career. Fans have even pointed out that in old photos of Brian Sr., you could easily mistake him for his son. But the similarities don't stop there. Brian Jr. has followed in his father's footsteps, pursuing a career in music. With a smooth voice and impressive songwriting skills, he's been carving his own path in the industry. While his father's music leaned heavily into classic R&B and soul, Brian Jr. brings a fresh, modern twist to his sound. It's clear that Brian McKnight Jr. isn't just a look-alike. He's also a talented artist in his own right. With a legendary father as his inspiration, he continues to prove that musical genius runs deep in the McKnight family. And there you have it. 20 R&B stars and their sons at the same age. Some of these father-son duos are almost identical, while others share more than just looks. They've got talent to match. Which pair surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.